everybody. I'm Miles. I am the you in verse. Today I wanted to talk about meditation. Already, I can imagine this is going to be a little bit difficult to watch. Not because it's difficult to watch, but just because we as Western folk tend to have a limited understanding of meditation. That, and as well, our understanding is bad, and our general perception is not quite as clear, as it could be. So I'm here today to just hopefully clarify and clear up some of the smoke regarding the practice of meditation. So meditation is a spiritual practice used by a whole host of people, not just, monks or, people, business people use it. People that require a clear head would benefit from meditation. It's basically the practice of meditation is to, as opposed to clear the mind, we are almost organizing the mind. So meditation is useful for increasing mental clarity, improving cognition and the speed in which we can think and react, and speed in which we can respond. It helps to have a solid mental cognitive foundation for other spiritual principles and practices to stand upon, such as forgiveness and gratitude. It helps to establish them deeply within our minds, within our conscious mind. We can, through the practice of meditation, help to plant and firmly plant the trees of love and happiness and gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance. We can, whilst meditating, learn to suffer well. So we can, through meditation, transmute suffering into joy. We learn to live mindfully. So when we can live and comfortably sit within the present moment, and we can extend the amount of time we are able to consciously be aware of the present moment, we can learn to love and appreciate every second of our lives. And with that in mind, we are then therefore learning to live happily and harmoniously through meditation. And obviously, as I said before, the general idea in the first instance and sort of fundamentally is to have organized thoughts and approach life with a sense of wisdom as opposed to ruled by uncertainty. The common misconceptions of meditation are that it's a waste of time. To set aside 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, up to, or even more, that amount of time is wasted by sitting and doing nothing. Another misconception is the idea that the goal is to completely blank your mind and immediately sit in an empty space in your body and your mind and just sit there for hours. More misconceptions is the idea that you're not built for meditation. You're not the type of person that would benefit from meditation. You have tried it in the past, but your mind was too busy and you didn't really benefit from it. So with this video, I am here to hopefully dispel some of those misconceptions. Unfortunately, well believed throughout our society, the idea that Zen and oneness and nirvana are some pie-in-the-sky, ludicrous ideologies that, for people like me and you, We're not those type of people. We're boots on the ground, doing stuff, getting on with stuff kind of people. We don't need to be wasting our time trying to get somewhere calm. We've got stuff to do. And again, the idea that you're sitting there and you're closing your eyes and every second you're churning away through your thoughts and everything's coming in and tumbling in and you're just sat there pushing them away, that is detrimental to your meditative practices as well. I tend to practice for half an hour twice a day, if I can, meditate. So around about an hour a day of meditation, if I can. Personally, I found that, honestly, has within probably about maybe 10 weeks, and already in that time, I am almost like a new person. I even recorded a video a few weeks into meditation, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in. The difference then between before I started was immaculate. The difference in, say, the 4 or 5 weeks after that video and who I was 4 or 5 weeks ago, the difference is immaculate again. So within such a very short space of time, my concentration, my focus, my cognitive capacity, my confidence, my social skills, my ability to sit in discomfort and then turn it into joy and happiness and harmony, my abilities to do that have only existed because and through meditation. So the idea that meditation is a waste of time is from my perspective, and a lot of people who have learnt to meditate would completely disagree. I would argue that meditating daily has changed my life more than anything, more than any experience in my life. I have never, ever been as harmonious as I am right now. And that's only because I meditate every day. I thought of a little analogy of what meditation is. It slightly varies now a little bit, but I think for the beginner, it's quite an accurate starting point. So if you imagine your mind is like a room, like this room, yeah? And we think we have about 80,000 thoughts a day or something. That's what they estimate. We think 80,000 different or recurring thoughts every day, but with always on the ball thinking. We rarely sit and concentrate on one thing at once. Rarely. Whoever you are, we don't do that. Okay? So if you imagine this room, and every time you have a thought, you are manifesting or creating or just throwing in a newspaper, like a scroll, like loads of paper with all your words and thoughts on, and every time that thought is there, you just chuck it in. If you imagine then, in one day, 80,000 thoughts, that's 80,000 newspapers, this room would be like pressed against the wall with newspapers, yeah? And then you stood at one end of the room and you're chucking newspapers in, and the other side of the room, they've fallen out, they've broken a hole in the wall because obviously you wouldn't be able to habitate all of those thoughts. So some of the older thoughts are just falling out. But we're still thinking, so we're still pushing thoughts into the space, just constantly pushing them in, and there's pushing the old ones out. So we're forgetting stuff, learning stuff, creating stuff, habits, whatever. So our brain is a room full of newspapers, right? I understand meditation as though we're trying to tackle this mess. So we're using techniques, focus, different techniques of learning to meditate and then dwelling in that meditation, we are learning to build like a Hoover or something like that, so that we can go into our mind and hoover out those thoughts or make space. So like, in one aspect, the idea of clearing the mind is relevant, but the goal is not to just dive in and get rid of thoughts, because you're just going to be tripping over and falling over and you're pushing them away. But because you're pushing them, you're just throwing more in. You're in your mind trying to clear newspapers with newspapers. What meditation is like allowing the thoughts to sort of fall out of your mind, allowing sort of the gentle stream and flow of consciousness and conscious thought to be calm, so that instead of stress and anxiety newspapers, we gently place moments of awareness newspapers in the place of stress and anxiety and loads of thoughts and random crap. And over time, by training your mind to throw less newspapers in, the ruckus and the enormity of the problem slowly starts to lose the amount of newspapers that are in there. And over time, your mind becomes open, like the space, like a room. Yeah, you don't have piled up with newspapers and thoughts. You see, like, there's books, they're, in this instance, they're like wisdom. Yeah, you can go and read a book now. You don't have to sit and read loads of newspapers. It's anxious and crap and full of junk. You can put the newspaper aside with awareness, let time pass, and all of a sudden you can reach for the wisdom. Yeah, that's my analogy. Okay, it's a beginner, and that's sort of how I perceive an easy way for us to grasp what we're trying to do. So as I sort of stated in the beginning, there's loads of benefits to meditation. It's not a waste of time, because I'm a massive proponent for meditation, and clearing some misconception up about why you can't try it. I think if you want to better yourself, to change the world for the better, changing yourself, learning to think properly and learning to suffer well is a brilliant thing to start. It's a really awesome place to start. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes every other day, or whatever, you just try it. Try it for like 5 days in a row. Learn about it, because I'm not a guru. I'm just telling you as much as I can. You watch a YouTube video or you read a book about someone who can really meditate, teach you what it's about. You give it a go for 5 days. You commit to it. You'll notice a difference. And it'll be better for everybody. I'd like to share more, but I imagine this video is a little bit long. However, if you're watching this and you've made it this far, this is my push and poke and guiding hand that I think you should give meditation another go if you haven't already. And I wish you the best. If you have any questions, or you want to see a different video on this, or a further explanation of what anything, you've got some questions, of course I'll do more videos on meditation. I love it. I love it. I want to talk about it. But as a starting point, this is a good place. So if you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and if you've got any questions, or you just want to let me know you enjoyed the video, please comment. I want to build up a little community of love. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.